Okay.
We're gonna try.
The volume is going up.
All right.
Okay?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the May 1st, 2020, 10 a.m. update with regards to the coronavirus. It's May 1st on the calendar, but apparently Mother Nature thinks it's still April based on the showers outside. So we are here to provide you with the latest and greatest, most accurate and updated information with regards to the coronavirus, how it affects the town and the residents in Bellingham. Our Deputy Chief, Mark Poirier, who's usually in this seat, is out doing some fire business. So we have our health agent, Bruce Wilson, to fill in for him. Bruce,
Good morning, everybody. I'm looking at Mark's notes here, and he's got a little scribble handwrite type of thing here, so I'll try to get through it here. In Massachusetts, we have 62,205 cases with 3,562 deaths. In the United States, there is 1,095,304 cases with 63,871 deaths, with 155,737 recovered, which is it's pretty good number there. We're starting to see a good incline. Throughout the world, there are 3,322,926 cases with 234,408 deaths. 1,050,430 recovered. So that, again, there's a pretty good number here. We're starting to see a good number here. At this point, I think if Esther wants to fill us in on the Bellingham's numbers.
Good morning. As of 9 a.m. this morning, we had a total of 276 residents that have been tested, 84 confirmed cases, 28 active cases, 53 recovered, and 3 deaths.
Thank you, Esther. Now I'm going to go back to Bruce wearing your Board of Health hat to give any kind of updates.
Hi, everybody. Bruce Wilson here, Board of Health. I've been researching, looking at returning back to business documents through CDC, my association, and stuff like that. So I've got a little bit of information that might be beneficial to the committee in trying to put the town back together. I've got a few complaints about people not wearing their mask correctly. You know, if you wear your mask around your chin, it's not going to provide a heck of a lot of coverage. So, you know, when you get close to people, remember, pull it up over your nose so that the people are protected. It's not there for a statement. It's there for protection. So, you know, you may not look the greatest, but you'll be protected.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Dennis, do we have any questions from our COVID-19@bellinghamma.org email?
We do have a few questions for Esther. Esther, how's the volume on the microphone, okay?
Yes, it's good now. Thank you.
Good. Okay, we have a question about masks. We're running low on masks, and if we can't get any masks or materials to make some at home, can you provide an answer as to where we can get some masks? I know that they are for sale. There's a place in South Main Street, actually, they're for sale.
Right at where the Trump store is.
Right. Okay. So there is an outlet there on the weekends, and I don't know if you have any other recommendations, Esther, but facial coverings, bandanas. I've seen videos where people are. You can go on YouTube and see a video on how to make a mask out of a sock. You cut the sock in half and you cut some holes and put it around. Any other suggestions?
You know, you really don't have to go out of your way to make a mask. You can use the bandana, you can use a scarf, you can use a turtleneck. There are many facial coverings that you have within your home that you can use.
Great. Another question on masks. Some folks are saying that you can disinfect your mask using Lysol or some other disinfectant and then reuse it. Can you address this?
You should not be using any chemicals to disinfect your mask. We don't know that it works, number one. Number two, you're potentially exposing yourself to inhaling chemicals, which is always a bad idea. The only way that has been verified to disinfect masks is via the UV lighting systems that you have seen all over the news. But you should not be using chemicals to disinfect your mask.
And if you are using a bandana or some other cloth, just throw it in the washing machine?
Yeah, exactly. Just throw it in the washing machine. Use the hottest setting that you have with a good detergent.
Great. Couple of questions with regard to people that work in restaurants and grocery stores. If they in fact become positive, we've heard about Walmart's closing down because they've had multiple people contract the virus, not in Bellingham, but in other communities that's happened. What will happen? Will people that shop there be notified, or what happens if someone from the store does in fact test positive for the virus?
So again, if anyone tests positive, there is a contact tracing that will take place via investigation. So if you meet the criteria of being exposed to a positive case, and that means you have been less than 6 feet away for more than 15 minutes without any personal protective equipment on, you will be contacted and you will be notified. If you've not been exposed, then you may not know that there was a case that had tested positive.
That seems to be a recurring question that we have every day, so I know it's one that's on people's minds. How does the virus respond to food items? Particularly food items they're asking that go into the refrigerator and go into the freezer, and maybe you could just go over common practices when people do bring groceries into the house, what they can do to stay safe.
Yeah, so it's still recommended that when you bring groceries into your home, that if they're going into the freezer or the refrigerator, you can wipe them down with a mild soap solution and dry them off before you put them into the refrigerator or freezer. You definitely want to make sure that you are throwing away those plastic bags. I honestly wouldn't even recommend recycling them at this point, just because we do not know whether or not the virus is in fact on the outside of those bags. So you can just throw those away, wash your hands really well after you put your groceries away.
And I know our recycling contractor would like us to know that no plastic bags go in the recycling because it tangles up the sorter. So you're throwing your plastic bags away and you're not reusing them, throw them in the trash. That's one that we get brought to our attention by our recycling collector often. Finally, I had a question about the recycling center. Thank you, Esther.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Our recycling center tomorrow will be open, and the question was, is it going to be open for everything, not just yard waste? It'll be open for recycling, for the electronics, for everything that you can typically bring to the recycling center, and there's a full, complete list on the town's website. So you can visit that. It will be open from 8 to 4, and typically it slows down in the afternoon, so avoid the crush of getting there right at 8 o'clock, because I'm sure it'll be very busy tomorrow early, and then it'll slow down later in the afternoon.
And we're gonna be limited in the amount of people will go at one time. So there may be cars kind of staged, waiting to get in. So just be patient. We're gonna have a couple of workers there. They're gonna monitor the access. So if you do go there, like Dennis said, maybe you want to think about going a bit later in the day when it typically slows down.
Right, and we do ask people to wear their masks, and our employees will be wearing masks as well.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. We have our town clerk here to give a quick update on some. Just come right to the mic there. Right, yeah.
You can sit at the table.
Sit at the table, actually, yeah. This one? On TV. Okay. So just a quick update on some changes we may look at when it comes to the local election on June 9th.
Well, this is sort of just going to be an advertisement. Not exactly going to give all the information today. I just have a local election coming up, a town election on June 9th. And we are going to be obviously doing things a bit differently this year. I'm going to outline that, I believe, on Monday, Dan.
Yep.
I have time on Monday to outline the procedures for that election. We currently have several town offices available with one contested race, and we have a ballot question that will be voted upon on that day as well. So I'm going to give more details. This is sort of like a cliffhanger that they have on a Friday afternoon soap opera where they leave you hanging for the Monday edition.
We call that a teaser in the business.
A teaser, okay. So The reason I'm doing this today is because I want anyone that has any interest in learning about the new election procedures. We're going to get as much information out as we can. We don't have a whole lot of outlets, so I want to utilize whatever we have. And if you know of anyone that might be interested, like you happen to have somebody, a neighbor or someone that's a poll worker, if you could let them know that we will be discussing it on Monday, and then I'm sure several times thereafter. But so have a good weekend, everybody, and stay well. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. And I know Bruce touched upon some information he provided with regards to opening up some businesses at a limited basis. The Board of Selectmen will be meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. to kind of go over some of the generalities. We have formed a ad hoc subcommittee that meets Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. So we are looking at the possibility of some businesses that may have been deemed not necessarily essential, but not non-essential, to see how we can get them back in business safely, following the proper protocols, minimizing any kind of contact, but at least giving these businesses who are struggling right now a chance to survive this virus and this time of unprecedented times. So that's what we're looking at. Again, it's not going to be any kind of floodgates opening the doors to every business. That's certainly not feasible at this point, but something that we're looking at to, again, get some of these businesses in town, especially businesses that provide a service that may be provided by another business that is allowed to operate, and getting them back in business. So that's something we'll be looking at, talking about tomorrow at the Board of Selectmen meeting, 10 a.m., and then Tuesday at our Economic Subcommittee meeting at 10:30 a.m. Anyone else?
Yeah, and obviously, in our town offices, we want to get back to the public as soon as possible. We're not allowed to open right now. Obviously, the governor's order allows us to work here, but not be open to the public. I think May 18th is the next date that'll be reviewed again. So as soon as we can open back up to the public, we will. But again, our lines are being answered. People can call the offices, email us, and we'll certainly be in touch with them.
Thanks.
And then if you want, I'll go through the numbers here.
Sure.
If anybody has any questions, they can reach out to the Mass site. It's at 211 about their COVID questions, or if they have any business or questions regarding work, they can reach out to the Mass Attorney General at 617-727-3465 from the hours from 10 to 4.
Great. Thank you very much, Bruce.
Just a reminder for everybody, wash your hands, wear your mask when you're out in public, and throw away those disposable bags.
There you go. All right, it concludes our update here. Again, a reminder, like Bruce said, maintain your social distance and wash your hands. Disinfect everything you come into contact with. Hopefully, the forecast of some nice weather this weekend, so let's get out and enjoy it. Do so safely, and do so in maintaining those social distance standards. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.